Hello, everyone. You've tuned into the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. We thank them for their continued support of the Indiana State Police Roadshow. We want to thank Tom Trial for putting us on YouTube each and every week and for getting us out there. Make sure that you go to our ISP YouTube site and watch the shows that are put on each and every week. And Tom's got a lot of old stuff on there, too, that's really interesting to watch. So thank you, Tom, for what you do each and every week for us. Today, I have a couple of guests. I got one that's been with me before, great guy from Vincennes University, Bill Golmitzer.
There you go. You got it.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Got it down pat?
No problem.
Got the bill down pat?
Yeah,
That's
Bill,
what I was worried about.
Bill's good. Yeah.
Not the Golmitzer. I was worried about Bill.
I've heard that Golmitzer called so many things, but you got it that time.
He is a College of Business and Public Service for Vincennes University. He's been up here and talked with us before, but today he brought a special guest with him, Drew Brown. Drew, thank you for coming in with us.
Hey,
we appreciate you being here. We like to have Drew here because he confessed to Tom and I while we were off camera that he is the one guy that watches our show. So this is excellent. We found the guy that actually watches our show.
You sure did.
He's a great young man, and he's been his praises have been sung by Bill. So I'm interested to find out exactly what Drew does. But Bill, tell us a little bit about Drew and how you become involved and how you met Drew.
Well, last time I was here, I think it was in April, I told you I was bragging to you about how great our students were. And so when I spoke to you last week about coming back, I got thinking, you know, everybody's heard from me. They've heard me brag about Vincennes University. They've heard me brag about our students. I thought, well, why don't I pull one of my students and then you can see the type of students we have at Vincennes. And Drew has represented the university and the university community at the highest level. He's a student trustee. He's actually on the board of trustees at Vincennes University, appointed by Governor Pence last year. Wow. And he's a graduate of our conservation law enforcement program, so he's got his 2-year degree, and now he's a senior in Homeland Security. He's about to obtain his bachelor's degree in Homeland Security. His future is very bright. All of us at Vincennes, faculty and staff, and his fellow students are really proud of Drew. And so I thought, well, I'll bring Drew and let Drew tell everybody what it's like to live in Vincennes, Indiana, and to attend our programs. So,
well, Drew obviously does not sleep because he sounds like a very busy man.
Yes, sir. He sure is.
They keep me busy down there. But we manage, and I appreciate the praise, sir. Really
well, it sounds like he's a great talent for your school and a great representative.
He represents everything. I wish all of our students could come to Vincennes University and get both a 2- and 4-year degree. So Drew is, I wish I had 300 just like him. He's finishing it in 4 years. He's a native of Muncie, Indiana. He could have went to Ball State, but he chose Vincennes University, and we've been blessed to have him, Rich.
Well, great. Let's find out a little bit from the horse's mouth himself. So what made you decide, hey, I'm from Muncie, Indiana. I want to go to Vincennes University?
So I get that question a lot, actually. Why didn't you go to Ball State?
Yeah.
It was right there at your doorstep. And when I got out of high school, I was kind of in that predicament that a lot of seniors find themselves in, where they're trying to decide what they want to do, what path they want to go down. I had a lot of different ideas, but couldn't really hone in on one of them in particular. And,
was it law enforcement or public safety even out there?
Public safety was always something I wanted to go into.
Okay.
But I was torn between military or which route I wanted to go.
Right.
A friend of mine told me about the conservation law program, and did a little research into it. Found out it was the only one of its kind in the state, one of the only conservation law programs in the country. And I took a leap of faith, as I like to say, and decided I wanted to move 3 hours away from home and go to Vincennes. I heard about the small class sizes and figured that would be something perfectly tailored to my learning style. So
Okay.
I took that leap of faith, fell in love with it, and here we are today.
So what did you find was the most awe-shock moment about the school that I didn't know this about Vincennes University? This is something amazing.
The thing that really got me, it takes me back to my first day, my first few weeks there, was getting introduced to the law enforcement professors like Professor Levi Clark, Kara Gilmore, Bill Golmitzer. The thing that struck me the most and has stayed with me even through everything that I've done was the personal experience. And a lot of universities, they rely on research and things of that nature, and a lot of things from an academic standpoint. But the professors at Vincennes had that real world knowledge, years and years of experience. They'd been there, done that, and they bring that wisdom to the table. And having that inspired a lot of people, and really wanted us to go to that next level, seeing the personal experience.
So it sounds like you're talking about that you actually went out with a lot of hands-on experience when you were going through your class experience.
Yeah, we had different hands-on experience. More recently, the law enforcement program has a simulator that we use that kind of simulates what they have at ILEA, things of that nature. And the
simulator for like a shoot, don't shoot?
Yeah,
or
shoot, don't shoot scenarios. We're very blessed to have that. But just the personal testimony from professors and bringing in special guests such as prosecutors, sheriffs, federal agents, anything for that nature, that was really important for us to have that first world experience. So.
Bill, you wouldn't think that Vincennes, Indiana, small little town down in southern Indiana, beautiful, beautiful location in beautiful Indiana, but you wouldn't think you'd have all this to offer, would you?
Well, like I told you last time, Jack Eads, a retired Indiana police sergeant, started the program in 1971, and we've had a total of 8,700 alumni go through in the last 46 years. Chances are there's not a post in the state of Indiana that doesn't have a trooper represented that hasn't been through Vincennes University. Somewhere in that post, someone has done a year, 2 years, got a degree from Vincennes. And our conservation program that Drew went through, Levi Clark was assisted a great deal. I think he was maybe even the head of training as a conservation officer. He's very young, very energetic, and the students love him. And Drew's program is the only program like it in the state of Indiana. So Vincennes isn't a new item. It's 46 years old, and you probably know troopers that have been through it yourself.
Absolutely.
So,
and you say the word Vincennes, everybody knows that it's the law enforcement college of Indiana. You know, that's where you want to go if you're going to be law enforcement or public safety. We're not talking law enforcement. We're talking all aspects of public safety, because you say you're now in a Homeland Security.
Yeah, I did my first 2 years in the conservation law program, graduated from that a year ago, and went into the Homeland Security bachelor degree, which we have a direct transfer. If you take a public safety degree such as law enforcement, conservation law enforcement, you can transfer directly into the Homeland Security bachelor and do an additional 2 years and walk out with 2 degrees at the end of 4 years. So
wow,
it's a great opportunity to open a lot more doors, and I'm very blessed to be where I'm at.
So have you found that the friends that you talk to, you've got some interest in that now, and some of your acquaintances from back home or around, are you finding that they're being inspired by what you're doing here?
Yeah, they do seem inspired, and a lot of them are in that same place that I was in high school, where they're looking for a route and they're looking for a place to do it. And I'm always telling them just how Vincennes is the place to start. If that's what you want to go into, public safety, there's no better place to start than Vincennes. And I have had a few friends start to go through there, one that just started not too long ago. So yeah, it's very humbling when you get people to come in and see what you've seen, and
very rewarding.
Very rewarding. Yeah.
Well, again, you're listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. I have William Goldmitzer with me and Drew Brown. Bill is from the College of Business and Public Service at Vincennes University, and Drew is sounds like a great student down there.
Yeah, he does it all, and he's represented the student body and the faculty well on the Board of Trustees this past year.
That's what I was getting ready to ask him about. How did that come about? How did you get appointed by Governor Pence?
So yes, I was, and it's still pinched myself today knowing it, but I was told about it my last year in the conservation law enforcement program. And basically what the student trustee does is they're the sole student representative on the Board of Trustees, which is the governing body of the entire university.
Yeah, absolutely.
And every member on the Board of Trustees has to be personally chosen by the sitting governor of Indiana. And so I went through the application process, collected my references, fine-tuned the resume, and then came the interview processes. And once I made it through all that, they submit, I believe it's 5 names that they submit to the governor's office. And so they submitted it to Governor Pence's administration, and my name was selected. And so once you are selected, you take an oath of office and serve a 1-year term. The end of my term's coming up here on October 2nd, but you serve the student body, the entire student body, not just the Vincennes campus, but our satellite campuses around the state and distance education.
So do you do a lot of traveling with this? Do you go around to other satellite
I travel
places?
from time to time. We go to different satellite places, but usually we stay on campus. I'm involved in a lot of different areas with student government, and I just try to represent the faculty as well as the student body as a whole.
Okay. So is this, can you run again for this position? Is it only a one-year term, or how does that work?
Well, each term, it's divided into a one-year term. I could run again, but I will be graduating here in May, so that's going to be handed off to another individual. And it's an extremely rewarding opportunity because you get to make a difference for not only the student body that's there, but for generations to come for Vincennes. You make key policy decisions on the budget. You help dedicate new buildings. You help with faculty decisions. It's very rewarding. Very humbling.
Again, when do you sleep? When do you get time to sleep?
I try to get a couple hours a night.
So you talked about that you're graduating in May. What's your outlook there? Do you have any plans after that?
So I have a lot of different options in front of me, but I would love to either get my start here in Indiana. I'd love to apply this November for the Indiana State Police and the Capitol Police. But also looking down the road, I'd love to work for the federal government as well. I'm going to be applying for the United States Secret Service Uniform Division as well as the U.S. Capitol Police in D.C.
Well, it sounds like you've got a good start to that with all your resume that you have there and the all the aspects that you've served down there with Vincennes University and your knowledge base. It sounds like a great starting point for you. Bill, this is something that's very, very common with your students down there, isn't it?
Yes, sir. When I look at Drew, I'm just so proud of this young man. When I had him in class last year, I looked down and all the things he was doing, and like I said, I wish I had 300 Drew Browns. I have about 270 Drew Browns right now. We have our 10% like you do on the state police, but most of our kids, like I was bragging about in April, are outstanding young people, and they have just unlimited potential, and Drew represents them all. We have 4,600 on our Vincennes campus, and he represents all 4,600 of those students. When he talks about dedicating buildings, Rich, here a couple weeks ago, we just dedicated the Updike new science building. That's a $25 million project. And Drew actually was there cutting the ribbon with the scissors, and I was like...
so you don't smash the wine bottle or the champagne bottle on the corner of it?
We don't commission it like a Navy vessel. But.
I felt like he was my son. I was so proud seeing him cut that ribbon.
Because you had him in class day one.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't a law enforcement student. He's on the conservation side, but in his Homeland Security bachelor's program, he had me as a junior, and this young man has unlimited potential, just like most of our students do. And I don't think we're a secret in Vincennes anymore.
No, I don't think so at all.
That is the place to go if you want to get into public service, and it doesn't even have to be law enforcement, Homeland Security. I told you recently I learned about our culinary arts program. We have an information technology degree program. Science, cybersecurity is the big program right now that's up and coming.
Oh, absolutely.
And there is just so much going on in those 202 degree programs at Vincennes. Purdue, IU, great programs, but we have something special at our little corner of the state.
Well, let's talk about if somebody wants to learn about that. Where should they go, Bill, to see some information on your school?
Well, you can go to the website at www.vinu.edu, and you can look at all the majors there. There's an alphabetical order. You can click on the letter C. Culinary arts pulls up, and you can look at the degree programs there. I learned just the other day that in culinary arts, you can get your 2-year degree program, and they have a partnership with Purdue University, and you just move from Vincennes to West Lafayette, and you're a junior. And that's more on the management side. They even have a pastry degree program in culinary arts. So there's a lot going on at Vincennes University.
Well, great. Well, guys, we're down to our last 20 seconds, but thank you so much for coming in. Bill, thank you for bringing this fine
Thank you
young
for
man.
having us, Rich, and we enjoy the partnership with the state police.
Well, we appreciate it. Drew, thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching the show.
Appreciate it. It's
We
an honor. I
appreciate
love
that.
tuning in every week. So
We
it's
love
an honor
having
to be a
you, and
part
thank
of
you
it.
for doing it. And good luck in whatever you do. And it sounds like you're not going to need it.
I appreciate it, sir.
Again, you've been listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. We'll catch you next week. Roadshow out.